Okay, let's talk about this sermon. Cynicism into hopefulness. Who can tell me what cynicism is the first step of? Quiz time. You guys didn't think there would be quiz time at Cam Church. Who can tell me that cynicism is the first step on what? Who knows? Who knows? You guys got to know this. This is a simple Unicult question. I'm waiting until someone answers. I'm going to drink my crystal water bottle. This is pure water in a crystal water bottle. We have 1 vote for self-realization. Almost. Sorry, it's our version of it. Spencer got it. The path to joy. Good work, Spencer. Cynicism is the first step on the path to joy. Our goal in Unicole is to live in a state of near constant joy through radical self-love and radical authenticity. And the first step on the path to joy, would you believe it, is cynicism. Cynicism is the idea that things could be better. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to believe that things could be better. We can look at the world and we can say, this is not benefiting me. This is poisoning me. This is detrimental to my overall well-being. That's okay. And it's true. And we can actually use our cynicism and turn it into hopefulness. And that's what this sermon is about. So the idea of turning cynicism into hopefulness is that it's relatively simple because they're very close together as far as energies are concerned. Cynicism says the world could be better, the world should be better, and hopefulness says the world can be better. So it's basically saying the world is bad versus the world can be better. Hopefulness is a very, very, very close step to cynicism. And when we change our consciousness from cynicism into hopefulness, we actually are doing great work on the path to joy, because we are actually changing our reality from a victim mind state into one where we are actually creators, where we actually are manifesting the world around us in the highest way that we can. When I had depression and I was in college and I felt so blessed to be in a state of higher education, but I felt like there was a lot of very dumb people around me, and I felt very upset because I felt like it was all a sham. I thought that when I went to college, it was going to be like I was going to be surrounded by intelligent people and I was going to be having all these deep discussions. But what I found is that everyone was binge drinking. And I was really bummed out about that. And I that really contributed a lot to my depression, because I was really holding on to this hope that the world would get better when I went to college. I really lived in social reality for my youth, and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try really hard to be the best possible girl, the best possible teenage girl, American teenage girl I can be. And I consumed so much media trying to be the best possible American girl that I could possibly be. I did cheerleading and tennis, and I tried to be smart and pretty and sociable and strong and weak and all the things at the same time, have a certain body, wear my makeup a certain way, have my hair a certain way, dress a certain way. Just really trying to emulate a version of societal expectation that I thought was going to bring me happiness, that I thought was going to bring me fulfillment. And a lot of that included, shopping, trying to fulfill a void that I felt I had by purchasing consumer goods. So when I went to college, I thought, finally, I'll be able to fit into the social narrative that media has taught me about higher education. But when I got there, the reality reflected was more like Animal House. And that was not the one that I wanted to ascribe to. So seeing that reality around me and having that great disappointment and not feeling like I had options for being authentic and not feeling like I had options for stepping outside of social convention and just feeling victim to the social convention that was all around me. And I also had these stories I told myself. Okay, so what if I fall in love and I get married? Then I'm just gonna have kids who hate me, and they're gonna be upset that they were born because I'm upset that I was born. And then I'm gonna get divorced because everybody gets divorced, and there's no point to anything, basically. I'm gonna get a job that pays well, but that I hate, and I'm just gonna go into debt, and I'm gonna just like live this life because I was supposed to fit into social expectation. You can talk during the sermon. You can talk to each other, and I can see your comments, but I might ignore them if they're not relevant. So I'm telling you guys my story because I was someone who really attempted to fit into social expectation and social standing, and I tried to mold myself around society. But the thing is that society is detrimental, it's toxic, it's poisonous. It's capitalist patriarchy with expectations that are actually detrimental to the end user. So to do that is actually something that will make you highly depressed unless by some rare chance that your true heart aligns with capitalist patriarchy mind states, which I don't think very many people do because it's not in alignment with the good of all. So the thing that I had to do was break out of social convention. And that's a big thing to do in comparison to cynicism and hopefulness, but it really does represent that transition from victim state mindhood to feeling like you have some power or some control. I felt like I had to abide by the social rules and social laws that were set up. And I felt like I was required to only express myself within those limitations. But that's not true, and that's not reality. I saw that the world was poisonous, was detrimental, and I felt victim to it. And that made me very cynical. And that made me want to, kind of have that badass mentality, that nihilistic understanding of like, fuck the world, everything sucks, I'm just waiting to die. And then I lived several years in that mind state where I really was just waiting to die. And I even tried to kill myself. So instead of going through all that, what you can do is you can say, yes, the world is bad, but it can get better. You change your cynicism into hopefulness, and you look at your own life and your world, whatever you see that you feel disenchanted about or upset about or negative about, then you can transform that into hopefulness. And it sounds simple, and I say it's simple, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually calling upon your own powers and your own empowerment to do that. Because it's easier to be a victim. It's easier to give into the narratives that are given to us by our society and to act like we're powerless. But the reality is that we are all creating this world. It's like if you're complaining about traffic while you're in traffic, it's like you are traffic. You're part of traffic. We're all part of the world that's happening right now. We have the ability and the power to change things. So how do we do it? Well, we start by changing our mind state from cynicism into hopefulness. That's the first step on the path to joy. So we say, maybe all relationships do seem to go down this path of, whatever I perceive them to be. Can I create a new relationship in my life that doesn't go down that path? How can I do that? Or you say, maybe everybody at my school is binge drinking. How do I create a culture around what I actually care about? Can you start a book club? Can you join a book club? Can you integrate yourself into other aspects of reality that might not be in your very present reality? There are ladders and bridges to the reality that you want all around you, and the expectations that you believe about your reality unless you believe anything is possible, are limited. Because anything is possible. You can literally transform your reality to be anything that you want. It takes years sometimes, depending on how big your goal is, and the closer to alignment to the good of all it is, the easier it's going to be. If you're trying to create a reality where you're hurting other people, you're going to be hurting yourself, and you're going to have a hard time creating that reality sustainably, because we're not in an energy that's going to support that anymore. But when you follow your heart and you follow your whims and you follow your passions and you believe and you use your own ingenuity, your own creativity, and your own understanding of the potential for the good of all and the potential for joy, and apply that to your life, and you radiate that out from your own heart, then you will be transforming not only your own life, but the world as well, into a state of hopefulness, which is a solutions-based mindset. That's something we really lack in this world. It's kind of amazing. We love to clickbait headlines. We love to comment on things that upset us. We love to get all riled up about politics. I'm guilty of this too. But we don't have a solutions-based mindset always. And there are solutions to every problem. Really. We can find solutions to every problem that don't involve hurting or killing people. So keep that in mind, and as you go about your life, notice when you're thinking negatively about something. I also want to mention, our own internal voice and how we look at our own realities and our own selves, and we feel cynical about ourselves. Maybe we feel like we're not talented enough or creative enough or smart enough or kind enough or whatever beautiful enough or whatever you're valuing, and you feel like you aren't, if you feel like you aren't enough, then that's a cynical mindset. That's not a solutions-based mindset. And it's hard. It's hard to transform your victimhood nature into a proactive creator mindset. It's true. So if you say, I'm not talented enough to learn that instrument, I just wasn't born with the right talent. Well, how often are you going to be sitting down to practice your instrument if that's true? Probably never. Really, how you think of these things, how you perceive yourself, how you perceive your own abilities, and the more you can find solution-based mindsets in a limitless reality where you are not limited, where you are able and capable of doing amazing things beyond your comprehension. And it might take a long time, and you might end up doing something different than what you thought. Maybe you wanted to learn guitar, but you end up learning a different instrument. It's okay to pivot, to change. But the thing is that we don't need to be limited by our fears or by our cynicism or by our idea that anything sucks. Yeah, things suck. That is a great opportunity to make them better. So that's my sermon today. Let me just read some of these comments. There is a flying saucer up here. That's true. I know, we are the traffic. Mind-blowing. Would I ever be a professor in Florida? Probably not. I don't think I would live in Florida, but I enjoy teaching. I like teaching from my bedroom. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me for Cam Church, 7 p.m. Oh, I do have an announcement. This is sponsored. This Cam Church is sponsored. Is that okay to sponsor Cam Church? I think it is, because it's actually for OgdenCon. Let me pull up their website and show it to you guys. It's Ogden Uncon. It's a pop culture convention that I'm going to be at in June. Here's their website. Check it out. And Sophia the Robot's going to be there June 7th through 9th in Ogden in Utah. And so if you guys want to come to this, you can meet lots of cool famous people, including me and Sophia the Robot. There's a discount on tickets right now through the end of the year, I believe. And there's going to be different classes and guest speakers and panels. So do check that out. And if you do want to go to Utah or make a little road trip, or maybe you already live there, look, there I am. There's my little thing. Look, oh, we missed it. I'm on there. So check that out, Ogden Uncon. And I hope to see you guys there. That's it. Uni bless.